I'm Chris with Plays with Water.
And I'm Stefan.
And this video we're going to just showcase 3 planted tanks, all low tech.
Yep.
We got a 3 gallon, a 10 gallon.
And a 33 long.
So yeah, let's talk about some fish tanks and plants.
Sounds good. All right, so you started a 3-gallon cube, no filter, right?
Yep, it is a no filter setup. It has fluval stratum in it, a light, rocks, and some plants, and that's really about it, other than the shrimp. So yeah, it's growing in really well. I started with a dry start on this tank with hydrocotyle and dwarf hairgrass. The dwarf hairgrass didn't do much, so ended up taking it out, putting in some Sawazar tong, and I believe that's dwarf sage I have in the back there.
Yep.
And seems to be growing and taking off really well. The position I have it in, it's actually out of direct sunlight.
Okay.
You know, despite all the plants being there. Very minimal issues with this tank. I don't even have a biofilm on the surface anymore. The between the snails and the shrimp, they do a pretty good job of keeping it clean, really.
What kind of shrimp do you have in there?
Those are black King Kong Panda mix, and yeah, they're absolutely beautiful in there.
Caridinas.
Yeah, so you would think that it would be a little more difficult to keep them alive in there, and I've really had no issues.
They're not as hard as people make them out to be. Sure, they're a little bit more work than your average Neo Caridina, but honestly, Caridina it's just a little bit more attentiveness to it.
Yeah, it's, you know, I top it off with distilled water, and you know, I do a water change, like I said, maybe once a month on it.
They're
and
gorgeous shrimp. They're worth the work.
They really are, and I feed them the tetracolor granules. You know, I kind of break it up and put it in there. The snails, between the ram's horn snails and the shrimp, they eat 99% of it. And I'm also kind of using the fish food to help fertilize the plants a little bit, because I'm not dosing the tank. Like we said earlier, it's not filtered, and it looks great. You know, it's,
yeah, it does.
For such a small volume of water, it's really been nothing to take care of. It's the only tank I have upstairs because it can handle the temperature fluctuations upstairs. It's not like my fish room where it's a constant 74 to 76 degrees. You know, it's the upstairs. So it's, but yeah, I've really had little to no issues with this.
Okay.
Took maybe 2 months for it to finally settle out, and you know, for the algae blooms to go and all that. But
What light are you running on that?
that is the Phoenix Stingray, and I believe I'd gotten off of Aquarium Co-op. It does a pretty good job of growing plants, and yeah.
Cool tank.
Thank
Very
you,
cool.
thank you. Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
What else have you been up to?
So this is the 10 gallon we had featured last year, where we had a 3-part build.
That's
And
right. Yep.
yeah, I ended up moving the guppies out of it into my 29 gallon with a bunch of other guppies, kind of just like a stock tank I got going on.
That's right.
So I set this up for my coral dwarf platys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I had them in the 45 gallon cube for a while, but I thought they, you know, deserved their own tank, and I had a pea puffer, so I threw the pea puffer in with them, and yeah, so this is the revamp of this tank. It's the light on it is from a Fluval Spec 5.
Okay.
The tank itself is the Aqueon rimless.
Yep. 10 gallon.
Yep. As far as this one is filtered, I have a Whisper 20 hang on back.
Those are good filters.
Yeah, it's, you know, as the name implies, it's quiet, it's easy to maintain, you know, and since it's such a small filter, it doesn't take up much juice or anything like that.
Yep.
This is planted like the other. It's got, I believe I used Eco Complete in this one, and then I capped it with white sand and some crushed stone, kind of break it up a little bit.
Okay.
And as far as plants, it's all easy plants. There's Ludwiga in the back. Put some crypts in there, some Java Fern Windelove on the piece of Malaysian driftwood.
Yep.
Yes, there is some Sawazar tong in there too. We both really use that plant a lot.
Tang. It's one of my favorite things to use in any tank. Honestly.
Yeah, I have better luck with it than with the moss. It seems to deter algae growth a little better than like say Java moss. But this tank, it's really fun to watch. The nice note with this tank is that it's actually eye level when you're standing. So it's even easier to just stand there and kind of enjoy this tank.
Yeah.
But I'm really happy with how this one came out also.
Okay.
Hopefully the platys breed a little bit. They did breed in the 45. I did happen to find a lone baby fish in there.
Yeah.
So I gotta try to scoop the baby out, get it in with the parents. But so they are breeding. Just hopefully they'll start breeding in this tank.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. It's a nice tank.
Yeah.
I like the 10-gallon rimless tanks. I've got one myself, and it's a nice, it's a really nice, inexpensive tank to escape with, and you can do it over and over again. I think I'm on my 4th setup or anything. I think I'm mine. So it's high tech, low tech. It's a nice tank to use. Not that expensive either.
It's not. Yeah, I think normally they're about like $20. I use some Pals rewards. I think I got mine for like 15 or something like that.
Yeah, it's a nice
so
tank.
It's not really much more than the rimmed 10-gallon if you hit like the $1 per gallon sale or whatever, or however they're doing it now.
Yeah.
But and the nice thing is with the 10-gallon is you have a lot of options as far as livestock or what kind of plants you want to do.
Yeah, over like a 2.5 or something, or even like a 3. Like you can't keep fishing a 3, you can't keep fishing a 2.5, or you shouldn't.
You shouldn't.
You really shouldn't.
I kept a beta in my 3-gallon for a little while, but I did end up moving them out of it because it was just. It's kind of a limit.
Like the limit.
Yeah, that's like a real just over the line for betas in my, in my experience. But yeah, so it doesn't cost a fortune. It's fun to set up and reset up as often as you like, or you get tired of the current.
Cool. All right. Well, let's move over to the 33.
Yeah, let's check out the monster tank of the 3.
Monster.
All right, so enough out of me. Let's talk about one of your tanks.
All right, so this is a 33-gallon long. So it's 1 foot tall, 1 foot deep, and 4 feet long. It's quite an interesting sized tank.
Yeah, it's like a big bookshelf tank.
Yeah, exactly. It's 33 gallons. It's so what I did with this one is I used some dragonstone and spiderwood, and I made like an islandscape on one side of the tank. I wanted to have a lot of easy plants that really don't need a lot of trimming or maintenance.
Pretty much anything slow growing.
Generally, yeah. So and there's some Bucephalandra in there. I think that's the Godzilla type. Then there's some Anubias in there and a lot of crypts.
Yes.
And I really like the crypts in this escape. They really took off. Believe it or not, there is no plant substrate in there. That's just straight.
It's just straight sand. Okay.
I mean, obviously, the most of the plants don't even need anything from the soil, but the crypts, generally do.
Yeah, they're a little more of a root feeder. Are you going to start using a root tab or anything?
I threw a few root tabs in there. That's really the only thing they needed. But honestly, they were taken off well before I threw the root tabs in there.
Oh, excellent.
So
good.
I really only put them in there just to make sure it's maintained.
Yes.
I got a lot of rummy nose tetras, about 30 of them in there. There's about 10 or so ember tetras, maybe a few less, a couple galaxy raspboras.
Okay, so you got a nice mix in there.
Yeah.
Some schooling fish.
Yep, I really like the rummy nose tetras. I'm going to keep adding them in.
Yeah, it's such a good looking fish. Yeah, I agree.
And for a cleanup crew, I'm running some mystery snails for now. Mono shrimp. I've got some red cherry shrimp in there, the neocaridinas. And it's really, I honestly almost never clean this tank. It really doesn't need much algae maintenance. It's a well-balanced system.
Yeah, I find having a solid cleanup crew really helps to bring that along in a tank.
Yeah, it doesn't do everything.
No,
honestly,
absolutely
but
not.
It's, I've got some tanks that are lower on the cleanup crew because they've got puffers in them, and the puffers won't work with them.
Yeah, you don't have the option.
And I'm cleaning those every week, whereas this one I'm cleaning once a month,
Yeah.
and I'm way happier with it than I am with the puffer tank.
Yes.
So it's a low maintenance setup, and it's really coming out great, I honestly think.
Yeah, and that's kind of that kind of brings all of these tanks into full circle, is that they're all very well established, balanced tanks, and so by having less maintenance you have to do for a tank, the more you're able to enjoy it and really sit back and just enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that why we do this?
Yeah. So.
Oh, I forgot. I do have pothos on top there. Those are the pothos roots I have around the sponge filter, and that probably helps a lot with algae
absolutely.
growth as well. It eats a lot of nutrients.
Yeah. I'm sure you're gonna probably have to start dosing the tank with those pothos growing out of there.
Possibly. I haven't had to yet, but if I need to, we'll do it. Running a 4-foot long Fluval Aqua Sky light on it. I'm really liking that. The app is fun to use.
Mm-hmm.
You can choose the light spectrum that's right for your tank, and it's even got weather effects. I could turn on a thunderstorm or something on it. It's a nice effect. I'll see if I can get some video in there of that. And because the tank's so long, the tank needed a power head.
Yeah, now what power head is that you're running?
That's actually an AI Nero 3, which is more commonly used in saltwater, but I like gadgets.
Yes.
I like the customizability of it and how slim it is. So it's perfect for this tank. I have it running at about 50% power, and it's just constantly on. If I wanted to do a wave maker, I could, but this tank's really doesn't need it.
No, you get almost like that nice gentle breeze through that 4 foot of water, and that's perfect for the plants. It keeps
fish love it.
The fish love to play in it.
Yeah.
It keeps algae growth on the plants to a minimum. It's just, and it gives that beautiful effect.
Yeah. Now this is I've got a lot of tanks, I'll admit.
Yep.
And this is for months now. It's been my favorite. And it's really coming along. I barely have to do anything to it.
Can't argue with that.
Right? That's a lot of fun.
So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video.
If you did, like, subscribe. We could use the subscribers, and then you stay up to date with what's going on. We have a lot of variety on this channel.
Yep, and we got some new projects, some revamps of current tanks coming up soon.
Maybe some fish room tours. I know we said that last time.
Possibly
some fish room tours. We'll see. We're getting there.
So, but yeah, thanks again for watching, guys. We appreciate it, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Peace out.